All right, let's go. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's let everybody get in here. What is it? It's Monday, right? It's Monday, and then what's tomorrow? There's something going on tomorrow. I don't know. You guys tell me, how are we doing on this fine October? It's too hot. It got warm again. It's gonna be like a high of 82 today, so I'm not feeling the whole you know fall, cool, crisp. Not, I know you guys in Florida, you're used to not feeling it, but us here, Maryland, this weather is what's known as garbage time. We'll put it that way. It should be nicer. So, how's everybody doing? Let's blow up the chat. I know we had the game on Saturday. I can't. I can only marvel at the difference in reactions that I see to videos on my channel and the Panthers in general. It's just, I'll get into it. So, how we doing? Let's see. Colin, Lundell and Eckletter on the ice. That's good, good, good. Everyone's good to go. That's good. Hey, David, yeah, there's only one undefeated team left of all time. It's exactly right. I didn't think it was going to happen. When I did my scores preview, I did say that if there was any team in the AFC East that could give Buffalo some problems, it'd be the Patriots. Let's see. You were at the collapse game yesterday, Damien? Oh, boy. You weren't the one that collapsed, though, right? Yeah, 82 of them. Hey, David says 82. It won't be that cool here for a while. I know, but it's yucky. It's just yucky. Hey, Mr. Vid, Steven, how we doing? Jackson, Mr. Vid, you're happy after last night's game? Sure. Charo, yeah, the Canes might do better than the Dolphins. They might. Craig, a little disappointing. Studnicka got waived. That's a little bit surprising. But what I've been saying about the two-way contracts and the guys on the PTOs and all of that kind of stuff, the extra guys, to me, if they start keeping a lot of them, including Studnicka, to me, that tells me that they know for sure Barkov's not coming back. Because while right now we have problems, what we do need to realize is that when Chucky comes back, if Barkov comes back this year, nothing has changed from the beginning of this season where we have salary cap issues. So if we give Studnicka a contract, right, and it's not a two-way deal, then that's extra cap that we would have to move if Barkov comes back. So with them getting rid of somebody like Studnicka, that kind of tells me that they still are still leaving open the possibility for Barkov to come back and playing the salary cap in that manner. Hey, Rosado, Maroon 5 kicks off their tour today. Are we going to stream the college championship final football? Don't know. I don't know. Kyle hasn't wanted to do as much as I would hope with football, so we'll see. We'll see how the energy goes. But we're trying to pour it all into the hockey right now. You know what I mean? Hey, boneheads. Put on my real voice. It's like 7:00 in the morning and I'm completely devoid of energy, Vincent. Would you prefer that? I mean, I could sit here like this and be like, yeah, so it's 7. What are these dummies doing? Mr. Vids. Yeah, never heard of her. Yeah, now getting Schwint back is pretty cool. I'm still assuming it's a two-way thing. Real, the Patriots are past the Dolphins. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. What's my point projection now? I'm not changing it. I don't want to change it. That doesn't mean that I don't think it might have changed, but I'm going to stick with what I said. I don't want to change it and go chasing the injuries of, well, I said this, but now this. I'll stick with it. But I'm not all that. Like I said, I just put out my season preview, and the vibe just seems off. Something just seems off. Frosty says Barkov could be our trade deadline edition like Duclair was for us in 2020. I mean, that would be, while it's possible that could happen, we still have to keep in mind that when Barkov comes back, we have $4.5 million of the salary cap that we got to deal with. It's so tough to figure out. So Kate says, good morning, Jaws. I saw more comments from other fan bases. Well, whiny hypocrites, what happened to 90s hockey. And, it's interesting. It's interesting, Kate, because the first 4 years of the channel, like I've said, I get fans of other channels, fans of other teams finding the channel. Hey, I'm glad the Panthers got a YouTuber, and I hope you guys do well. Always kind of like the Panthers. It's okay. You know what I mean? And now, anytime I make a video that draws a wider NHL audience, and it's not a complaint, it's just an observation. Boy, they hate us. Like I feel like because I'm not so much on Twitter, and like I'm just doing the YouTube, and I mainly only deal with the people that come to the live stream or the comments in the comment section, I feel like maybe I've been in a little bit of a bubble in terms of just how hated we are. They hate us. They all hate us now. All of them. It's bad. It really, I mean, we are as hated as the Chiefs. For sure. Yeah, we can always get Keith Yandel back, right? I don't know, Pacharo. I feel like if the Hurricanes are doing good and then we stream them and they do bad, you know what I mean? What the hell are you talking about, Vincent? Exactly, Mr. Vids. A lot can happen, and I'm still hopeful about our Cats. Hey, appreciate that. Appreciate that, Tariffs. Yeah, Tampa, or at least they were, right? Oh, well, I picked, David, you don't want me to pick. I picked the Ravens to win the Super Bowl, so that shows you what I know, right? Real says, I'm so sick of hearing how dirty we are and how the Lightning are some kind of noble heroes. The Lightning were dirty for years. We built the team. We built the team to beat them, and now, right. Yeah, and that's basically what happened. Exactly. They hate us because we ain't us. Yeah, I get you there, Mr. Vids. Yeah, embrace the heel turn. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. But I never expect it. You know what I mean? Like, I guess because I titled the video about the Panthers and Lightning fighting like that. I guess because I named it, I titled it, What Are These Idiots Doing? I guess they thought I was only calling the Lightning idiots. Native says, Jaws Stars fan dropping in. We don't hate y'all in the least. Yeah, you guys don't. Yeah, we don't get a lot of guff from fans of teams we haven't played for the most part. It's mostly fans of teams we've played and the Eastern Conference teams. Like, we don't get anybody, like you're saying, like yourself from Dallas or Colorado or Vegas. Vegas don't have a problem with us. You know what I mean? Well, yeah, appreciate that. Nah, it's okay, Terrace. We got the channel is Terrace. If it wasn't for the fans of the other teams, the channel probably wouldn't have survived all these years. Especially the first few years that I started really getting into it about 4 or 5 years ago. At that point, my subscription base was like 25% Lightning fans because the Panthers hadn't been able to hold on to anybody for significant periods of time as fans. So it's all cool. Hey, Bucks Rays. Kate says a lot of Cats players were idiots in that game. I'll admit that. Yeah, it was like, what are we doing? I don't know. I think they will get things straightened out. But I'm not hearing the same things at a camp this year that I was expecting to hear. Like last year, Maurice was praising how these guys came into camp in better shape. And I don't know. They all seem tired. They seem as though like it's that first day back at work after you've had a week vacation and it's Monday and you're kind of wishing, man, maybe I could have just like taken a couple more days so that my first week back wouldn't have been such a long whole week. Like maybe I should take a Monday and Tuesday off, and you're dragging your ass into work. That's the vibe I get from a lot of these guys right now. Like, I'm not so sure about the start that we're going to have. Fossey says, I know you picked the Panthers to win it all, but from the outside, if we played Tampa in a series, Tampa wouldn't be the favorite to beat us without Barkov. Yeah, I mean, look, there will be some pieces they have to bring in if Barkov's not coming back. You know, because the problem is that the guys that we're asking to step up might have a lot of wear and tear on them already. Vincent says Flames fans are still the Panthers' biggest fans after Panthers fans. It's true. David says Lightning are so afraid of the Cats they called up scrubs to play, but won't be able to do that November 15th when we kick your punk teeth down your throat. Oh. Now, I wonder if that game is just like crickets, if that game just ends up being completely quiet. You know what I mean? Yeah, Bucks Race says NHL should add Panthers and Tampa opening night. I don't know. It should have been Boston, right? I don't know about Panthers and Tampa. I don't know if that's the first foot forward that the NHL wants to show. And they get stupid. Like it's not, you know what I mean? Because what's going on the ice has nothing to do with what went on the shift previous. This all started in that original Panthers Lightning series where it went to 6 games. That's where a lot of this stuff started. So Colin say it looks like McDavid is staying. What do we got? I know all that effort in the preseason, they still lost 7-0. Hey, James. Real says they played a lot of hockey and they brought us 2 cups. If we don't do well this year, I'm not going to be mad. Definitely. Definitely not going to be mad. What would my reaction be if McDavid joined the Cats? I mean, what would my serious reaction? My serious reaction would be, who's playing wing? Who's playing wing? I mean, of course, right now, with Barkov out, okay. But you would then be in a situation of having Barkov, McDavid, Bennett, Lundell. Like, who's going to wing? You're not going to have any of those guys at 4C. They really don't even belong. Lundell really don't even belong at 3C, but we'll take it. That would be my first, of course, you'd have to do with the salary cap issues and all of that. But I don't think it'll happen. But it's fun to think about. Colin says there's a lot of reports saying that a McDavid extension is moving towards today. All right, so then maybe they're getting close, right? Yeah, James, that's about it. Still too many unknowns, but in Zito we trust. Like I said, I did the season preview, so I don't want to give it all away. I agree with David, yeah. Right. James says Montreal and Ottawa ended up being quiet after the Goon Fest that was their game before, so it could end up being crickets. Yeah, I mean, they kind of do that when the games don't matter. Didn't we have a game? I remember another game that didn't matter against the Lightning. I forget if it was like an end of a season thing where the playoffs were already decided or if it was a preseason. But I really think I remember a game similar to the first one where it just got really out of hand, but nobody cared because the game didn't matter. Yeah, David, exactly. Vincent says it's all Pomo's new camp. I think the players were more confused with that than we were. In the end, what? Veterans played 2 games. It feels scrumbly to me. That's a good word for it. That's a good word for it, Vincent. It's something don't feel right. Now, it could simply be, Vincent, that Maurice is realizing you guys have played a lot of hockey, right? But if you're backing off of training camp because they've played a lot of hockey, like, that's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. But we got 2 cups, right? We got 2 cups. So I don't know where the third sign would fit downstairs. So we'll see. But yeah, the way the vibe's just not the same. Yeah, the Bills played sloppy in the second half. I told Kyle to do it, but he didn't want to do it. Yeah, you won't be mad either. We can't lose to the Oilers, Bolts, or Leafs. Yeah. Yeah, Strafossi. Like, if we lose to Montreal or even Ottawa, I'll be like, all right, you know what? Let Brady have a chance at it. You know what I mean? As long as we don't lose to the Oilers, Bolts, or Leafs. Notice how you didn't say Canes because we don't even think that's a possibility. Yeah, Bucks Rays, that's for sure. I'm just reading here. So yeah, they've played a lot of hockey. There's no doubt there, right? So Colby says the amount of people predicting Panthers to miss the playoffs is insane. Well, so you know me, Colby. I like to play devil's advocate, and I see both sides to things. I'll be straight, Colby. If I wasn't a fan of this team, if the Panthers were not my team, and I was looking at things from an objective, neutral point of view, I could easily look at what's happened over the course of this summer and the last couple of weeks and get the sense that, yeah, I don't even think this team might miss the playoffs. I can 100% see how somebody that's not a fan of this team, that doesn't have the same faith in the team, doesn't watch them on a regular basis, I can totally see how somebody would look at it and be like, yeah, no, they might be cooked. I mean, eventually we're going to be cooked. I mean, we made it to 3 cup finals in a row. So I understand. I don't necessarily agree, but I understand. Strafossi said the vibe still seems okay to me. Yeah, I mean, it's not that it's bad. It's not that it's bad. It just the energy level seems different. And maybe it's because there's no Kachuk and no Barkov. I mean, by definition, it's going to be a little bit different at that point, too. But Maurice didn't seem to have as much pep in his step. Zito seems to have a lot less. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. But the way I'm interpreting everything is like most of these guys would have been totally fine with a couple more months off. Saul says, I think I saw something stating that they know the vets have played a ton, and so that's why they changed their schedules, meaning more time off for them. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Kate. The Senators, right. Man, I can't believe, ask Geek Tard talking about the Cardinals game. Can you believe there's still people dropping the ball as they cross the end zone in 2025? Like, come on, man. Like, how do you have that lack of awareness to somebody still be doing that in this day and age? Hey, Bucks, you heard there were suspensions or I think they already had their hearings and everything. I think they already had the hearings yesterday, right? Or are they today? Real says, I don't have an issue with the Sens, but the Habs fans are starting to get annoying. Well, yeah, I haven't seen it, but I understand. Gotcha, Bucks Race. Colby says, we've heard the song and dance about the Panthers falling off before. Oh, yeah, no, I look, I understand. I agree. But I think anyone who's just a casual fan of the sport would have to look at it and be like, man, 3 straight cups, no Kachuk, Barkov's knee. It's like, I think that casual fans would probably, get the vibe that, yeah, maybe it's not going to be their year. Yeah, that too, Cade. Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot, and so the only thing that I'll say is that I've seen a lot of comments, oh, well, this is what the Panthers get because of this, that, and the other thing, all these things that happen. And what I don't disagree with the premise of people saying, maybe we hit Hagel a certain way or this, that. I'm not even going to argue those points. But the point I will say is that I think some of the things that went down you don't expect in a preseason game, right? Like if it's the middle of a playoff round, take as an example what happened to Kachuk against Vegas. Okay? Kachuk levels Eichel, sends him flat onto the ice. Eichel's okay, but they took that number. Next game, I believe it was, Kolesar lays Kachuk out. And you know what you say is like, well, Chucky, Stanley Cup final, man. Keep your head up. Keep your head up, man. You know what I mean? Is what it is. Now, if they would have gone after Kachuk in a preseason game as revenge, then you might, for me, I kind of get the attitude of it's like, fair is fair, but there's also, you have a right to be expecting it in the playoffs or regular season or a game that counts. But I think the reason why it got so out of hand, in my opinion anyway, part of the reason is that I think at some point, it being a preseason game, maybe the guys just aren't going to be as intense as they would be in a playoff game. and maybe just kind of, and you can see it on the Ekblad play. Like, you can separate out the part where you think Ekblad deserved it. His body language when he was getting hit along the boards, he wasn't preparing himself. He was not mentally checked into the game. He would have been if it would have been a playoff game with his head on a swivel, knowing that tough hits like that might come. So I don't necessarily have a problem with tit for tat, but do it under similar circumstances. Start going after guys in preseason games. It's like, that's why I said, what are these idiots doing? It goes both ways. It's like bad things can happen when you're not fully locked in, and nobody's going to be fully locked in during a preseason game. And then the refs just let them do whatever the hell they wanted to. I would be shocked if anybody got suspended from that. Hey, guys, where's Kyle with his MLB coverage? I can barely get Kyle to take the garbage out. Coley says, I have a feeling the Panthers will play a lot like the 24-25 Jets, elite defense and goaltending with timely scoring. It's possible it ends up that way, yeah. No word on the term yet, but McDavid is staying in Edmonton, and the hearings are today. Okay, thank you, Native. I guess because yesterday was Sunday. That would be wild. I wonder if the NHL will take into consideration anybody that, I'm not saying they should. I'm just wondering, I'm asking if they will take into consideration that if you suspend somebody, you're taking them off the ice for their banner raising ceremony. Like, honestly, I don't know why they even would. It's just like the refs let the shit get way out of hand. It was a preseason game. Throw your little stupid fines out there and be done with it. Now, if the Panthers are smart, if they do suspend like Verhaeghe or somebody, what they would need to do, in my opinion, would be appeal the hearing, appeal the suspension, so that he can be on the ice for the home opener. And then if he loses the appeal, he will at least still been on the ice for the home opener. But, man, it got out of hand, but ain't no suspensions and fines going to change that. If the refs didn't want it to get out of hand, they shouldn't have let it get out of hand all the way around. McChicken chickened out. Let's see, Andrew. Let me go to Twitter and see what's what. Let's go to Twitter and see what's what. My other glasses broke, so now I got these on. I just buy the cheapest dollar store readers I can find. Twitter. Because with the Lyme, my prescription changes too often for me to get, let's see, to get like regular glasses. So they're saying, yeah, Elliott says Connor McDavid will be extending with the Edmonton Oilers, but we don't have numbers yet. So as of 3 minutes ago, TSN is just saying details to come. Jay Fresh says, hearing that McDavid was on the phone with Mitch and Paul Marner last night, where they convinced him to stay in Edmonton instead of going to Toronto, very emotional conversation, apparently. Oh, man. Yeah, and everybody's like, people are saying they can't tell if it's parody or not. All right. We don't have terms yet. In terms of how much, uh, they just gave Kaprizov 17, right? Right? Oh, you guys just tell me when the amount comes up to Twitter. I'm back to the chat now. David says a cowardly way to do it. Yeah, just like do it when people might have an expectation. Yeah, that's very true, Bucks. I'm just reading here. So Rogello is saying, just don't cry during the regular season when our players send some of you to the hospital. It's like, I just want it to stop. I don't want to see it. And not because I don't like that kind of play or anything like that. But like I said in the other video, it's like watching Kachuk, bust himself up like that for a fight. It's like now I'm kind of like, just stop. Like, we're trying to win cups. Like, I know if you get rough and a fight here or there has to happen. But I'm not interested in the tit for tat. Because we can't do that on a regular basis, man. Which, by the way, Cunnin can fight. Who was the other guy? Was it Gregor that could lay him down? There was one other guy that was out there fighting too. Any guesses on what McDavid gets? I don't know. The Draisaitl at 14. They just gave out 17. Is he going to go to be the highest paid player now? 18. What's Edmonton's cap situation going to be? Kate says McDavid gets enough to force the Oilers into another rebuild within a few years. Hey, Dana. Yeah, they should have just called the game. It's kind of true. I saw that, James. Yeah, the Hurricanes claimed Bussy on waivers from Florida. Did Bornfoot get taken by anybody, or he's still with the team? Eyes. I'm going to say they cut the difference. See, 14, 17, 15 and a half. 15 and a half. That's going to be the number. 10 by 25. That'll be the number, 15 and a half. Yeah. Buck says, aside from NHL player safety reaction, the league office also has concern about how things played out with the Lightning Panthers to end the preseason. Multiple league personnel have been in touch with both, according to the league office. Well, yeah, because it's obvious that Tampa just, they did what they did on purpose. And it's like, look, if you're a Tampa fan and you don't like the pay, you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. And what I mean is, I see a lot of Tampa fans saying, well, look at what you guys did to Hagel. You had to know something was coming. And then at the same time, they're saying, yeah, we got you back for what you did to Hagel. They're also saying it wasn't premeditated. They didn't call up those guys just to do that. It's like you can only have one of those options. Either you were angry about the Hagel thing and you called up guys to exact retribution, or you didn't. It can't be both, one or the other. James, yeah, man, it just doesn't. I'm not in for tit for tat, man. It was Gregor. 1 foot cleared. All right. Thank you, James. Bucks says we did not do that on purpose. If you recall, David says if McDavid really wanted to win, he'd take 9 a year, so they would 9 a year, right? Yeah, that's what we're saying, Bucks Rays, is that it was revenge. That's what on purpose, that's what we're saying is on purpose. I says, how can McDavid say he wants to win and not sign with the Leafs? I bet you when they signed Stolarz that extension, they probably thought that meant McDavid was coming. So let me see if that's going to be the longest wait for a lot of people. What's Edmonton's cap space? Hold on a second. Cam, yeah, good point. The ring, man. Perhaps the return of my ring. All right, let's see. Let's see who remembers what movie that is. Ryan Rashog, TSN Ryan says short-term deal. That's interesting. Huh. That's not something I would have expected, that's for sure. Elliot Freeman says they're also hearing the Oilers are closing in on a 7-by extension for Jake Wallman. Jeez. Let me go to Edmonton Oilers salary cap here. Let me share it. So their projected cap space right now, well, the contract wouldn't matter right now because it's just an extension. So why do they have almost $12 million in cap space? Is there somebody on LTIR? Well, let's just look at next year. Yeah, I mean next year. Yeah, according to their project, somebody must be on LTIR to have that space. So they got, what's that, $43 million in cap space for next year. But of course, most of the team isn't even signed, right? McDavid needed to be signed. And then they do have a lot of empty spaces here. And they're getting ready to give. Where the hell is Wallman? They're going to give Wallman 7? Jeez. See if we had terms yet. No, nothing yet. Just extensions. So somebody here is saying sources that we haven't seen an official here saying it's a 4-year at 16 per. But that's just a regular. It's like nobody that you would believe to follow. But that's the only other number that's out there. Yeah, Ben, it looks like a steal now, right? Vincent says it's the only thing everybody expected 2 or 3 years from McDavid. Well, if he, yeah, Vincent, what I mean is that I guess if he would have left, nobody would have expected 2 or 3 years, I would think. Yeah, that's kind of an overpay for Wallman to say the least. When you look at what I mean, Forsling's not even 6. Someone should be ejected from Thursday night too, Bucks. I think they already had those hearings. I think the hearings for the Thursday night already happened on Friday. Real, yeah. Colin had told us at the beginning about Ekblad and Lundell, so that's good to see. Appreciate that. So let's see if we have any real numbers. Oilers Daily is saying, hearing it'll be short term, less than 15 million. That seems to be the number. Nobody knows. So he's going to give him a couple years. That's interesting because. So how old is he? He's 28 now, so that's boy, he's really risking it. He's really risking it because like right now he could probably find someone that would be willing to give him at least, 17, 18, maybe 19 million dollars on a longer deal. But taking only 3, I mean, not that 15 million is cheap, right? But at that point he'd be 31 years old. He'd be 31 years old. And, somebody going to be willing to give him a 7-year contract at that point. Would the number still be that high? I guess it might be higher because the cap's going to go up, right? Might be higher because the cap's going to go up. He's definitely taking a little bit of a gamble. Hey, risky. He's definitely taking a little bit of a gamble. Cam says, I'd respect McDavid if he took 15 million, show he really wants to win. Now, of course, Edmonton doesn't have any other goalie signed for next year, too. Do I think the Oilers are the favorites again? I don't know. I kind of feel like Vegas is always the favorites, and it's just a matter of whether they're going to find a way to screw it up or not. Like, I kind of feel like if teams played at their best ability throughout an entire series, I kind of feel like Vegas would be the better team, would be the better bet. But, I mean, it wouldn't shock me to see Edmonton make it back for sure. Now that if they have this extension offer their back, that certainly is going to, you know what I mean? That certainly is going to help. Where's our Bobrovsky extension? Huh? Where's the Bobrovsky extension? Because now that McDavid is signed, I think you could make a case that the biggest pending free agent right now is Bobrovsky. Even though he's at that age, I don't know if anybody else that's out there, you can correct me, I'm just doing this by memory. But is there anybody out there that's going to be a free agent this upcoming, if they don't sign, that could be add one player and instantly become a cup contender type of deal? Is there anybody other than Bobrovsky at this point that fits that category? Yeah, the Kings are the Eichel. Okay. All right, yeah. That's a good point. Eichel. Luosterainen's got another season anyway, Cam. Sam Miskevich is the one. Sam Miskevich needs a deal. You know what I mean? Don't let Montreal get Sam Miskevich and Bobrovsky. Frosty says, so I think we'll be more like the Blackhawks or Lightning, win another cup in the next couple of years or not get out of the first round. It's a good question. I don't know. It doesn't feel right. The beginning of the season don't feel right. Now, I think they're going to get it together. I know we haven't played yet, and we're going to win tomorrow. But, we've seen how this team plays when they're not completely mentally locked in, like when they were coasting and stuff last year. And it's really going to be a test of their mental fortitude, because they kind of normally would have the attitude of, well, it's a regular season, we're the champs. Well, we'll do what we got to do and we'll make the playoffs, right? And that would lead to a lot of games for them being mentally kind of checked out halfway. That's why we kept giving up all those leads. But now with Barkov and, Tkachuk and Barkov out, they've got to be locked in or they're going to lose games. And so it's going to be a real test of their mental fortitude on a nightly basis. Like when you get into that grind and you get those back-to-backs and you're kind of in a playoff spot, you're in there, you're in the mix, whatever, you're 3 points in, 2 points out, I just don't know if this team is going to be dominating at the beginning of the season just because we're overwhelming people with our talent. In previous versions, you had Barkov, Tkachuk, and you had Bennett, and then you had Lundell at 3. Like, people could get through, but it's going to be different now. Wait, 2 at 12 and a half? No, come on. No way. Oh, my God. I can't put my glasses on fast enough. Are you for real? 2 years for 12 and a half? But what about the taxes? I thought you had to be in a tax-free state for somebody to take a team-friendly deal. I'm confused. Wait, so you mean if a guy wants to stay with the team and win, that all they have to do is just take less money, even if it means they actually take home a lot less because they could have gotten more money somewhere else and not have to deal with the taxes? You mean it only has to do with whether they have loyalty to that franchise and they want to win? There's other players that care about something other than just singularly money? I'm confused. 2 years at $12.5 million. I'm very confused because he has to pay all those taxes. So doesn't that mean he's really screwing himself, right? I know Jackson. Yeah, it's rigged. It's rigged. I'm flabbergasted. I'm flummoxed. I'm Jaws.exe is rebooting at this moment. David says some people are so poor all they have is money, right? Alberta is a tax-free state, confirmed. Well, ain't that something? Ain't that a basket of apples? 2 years at 12. I mean, I'm the rubber band man right now. You could knock me over with a feather duster. That's crazy. That is like, don't even pay me market value. Don't even pay me. Like he may as well have said, just give me 2 years for the league minimum. Like it's the same statement. Yeah. Wow. Good for him. So 2 years. So at that point, he plays 2 more years like this. He gives management 2 more years and plenty of room, plenty of space to build around that. Of course, if they would stop giving these half-ass average defensemen the money that they're giving, not necessary. McDavid extended 2 years at 12.5. That's crazy. I still think that's more money than Forsling and Marchand combined, but that's a different story. Wow. So there's no excuses in Edmonton now. There's no excuses in Edmonton now. Dude just said, don't even make me the highest paid player on the team. I don't even care. Don't even make me the highest paid player on the team. And now Panther fans, I'm just going to talk some imaginary shit here. Vincent says Oilers' expiration status is less than 3 years. Now, in 3 years, 3 years, because this is 1 year and 2 years after that. In those 3 years, if if he has not won a cup with Edmonton, the sweepstakes, the McDavid sweepstakes that will happen at that point will be unlike anything I think we've seen. But he'll be closing in on 30. He'll be 30. Cam. The real sister, the Oilers signed him 2 years and still no goalie. And they can't go get Spencer, and they can't go get Stolars, and they keep signing their defensemen to absurd contracts. Absurd. And he just said, here, I don't care about money. Let's win a cup. Wow. That's completely good for him. Good for him. It's gonna suck for him when he loses 3 straight times to the Panthers. But yeah, cross-eyed Bouchard, right? Yeah. Wow. 12.5. And so that gives them the flexibility next year to go get a goalie. And that's the question I have is who, right? Because this is what we've looked at before. And while the money is great for Edmonton fans, the money is there. It's great, right? But let's share this page because we've gone over it before, but it bears repeating, like Vincent saying, what can they bring in? There's nothing. Exactly. Hey, thank you, Eyes. Thank you, brother. Thank you, bud. Yeah, McDavid said to management, win in 3 years or I'm a Panther. Exactly. So the goaltending free agents next year, Carey Price ain't making the comeback. There's Bob. I mean, there's a lot of things on this planet that could happen. but Bobrovsky to Edmonton is not one. That's I will go out on a limb right now and just guarantee that I have a better chance of being the starting goaltender for the Oilers next year than Bobrovsky does. And past that, Markstrom, Mrazek, Freddie, Skinner. They could go get Skinner. Oh, wait, right? Talbot, Nedeljkovic. Now, Connor Ingram, they do have Connor Ingram now, but he's not signed either. So what the hell just happened? The whole ad just took over my that's wild. Let me try this again. The ad took over the whole damn screen there. I lost it for a second. All right, let me get back over here. So, yeah, once you get, past that, there's nobody on this list really. If you took away all objectivity and just said, who's the guy that you bring in that makes you say, we definitely are going to win now, and he's a huge upgrade over Skinner? Like Bob, I suppose Markstrom, but he ain't getting any younger. Maybe Markstrom, right? Past that, I don't know. Now the one name here that brings interest to me, considering the fact that the Panthers rehabilitated Stolarz, it just did it again. All right, well, I'm done messing around with this website. Considering the fact that the Panthers just rehabilitated Stolarz and turned him, and he himself deserves credit too, but the point is the Leafs think that they can win with Stolarz now. So what if we turn Tarasov into peaches and cream? You see what I'm saying? Like what if we do to Tarasov what we did to Stolarz? And then Edmonton goes, hey, Danil, huh? Come on. You want to be the guy with McDavid? Don't know. So, yeah, Safasi says, would I trade for Wall? Maybe. But he's still a young goalie with growing pains to go through. You know what I mean? Like he's still a question in terms of whether or not he is a complete Stanley Cup final, Stanley Cup worthy goalie. Yeah, to me, honestly, I would find out if I'm Edmonton. What I'm doing is I'm trying to find out how the Panthers are running their goaltending program. And then I try to get people that can emulate that. Because it's not by accident. The Panthers just keep bringing in Lyon and Drieger and Stolarz. We just keep bringing in these guys who their numbers previous stuffs and not great. And with Stolarz, it was obvious. We all could see it, like that dude's rebound control sucks. But if your rebound control sucks, means you're in position to make the save. So there's something there. And so the Panthers have been able to work with all of these guys and turn them into viable number one goalies. Lyon, hasn't done really as well the longer he's been away from the system. Drieger was worthy and then got injured when he left. You see Stolar's numbers are out of the block. So if I'm Edmonton, I'm looking at who they got. Skinner has ability. I always say this. You allowed 2 goals in Game 7 of Stanley Cup Final. I would be focused if I'm Edmonton on how can we get Skinner to play to the best of his ability more consistently. Because when he plays well, he plays well. At least that's what I would be doing this year, because what's out there as a replacement Honestly, the only goalie that's out there that's right now in line to be a free agent next year that would make a difference is Bobrovsky. And that ain't going to happen, right? Real. Yeah, 7x7 for Wallman is kind of insane, yeah. Vincent says Donnie has a gravitational pull to Bob now. Yeah, what I would hope for is that Bob gets a 2-year extension. Tarasov gets 2 years right there with him. But, sometimes these guys might want to go get paid, right? JC says McDavid's coming to the East in 2 years. The eyes, it says Oilers were traded for goalie Devon Levi, right? And that's true, Strafossi. It's also because we have Luongo. Yeah, no doubt. And they've overpaid their defense. I mean, I can't believe they gave 7 to Wallman. They're trying to emulate what the Panthers are doing, and I can respect that. But they don't have the same core group. They don't have the same talent in that back end. So Cam says, don't forget Craig Anderson. He was a nobody and a coach under Rob Tallis, the longest tenured Panther, greatest Panther in history. I get you. Vincent says Bob needs 4 more seasons to reach 1,000 games. 1,000 games or 1,000 wins? No, 1,000 games. Yeah, because they're not playing every 82, right? Mike says Edmonton, Tom McDavid looked like we got some money to give. Yeah, that's what we're hearing is 7x7 to Walmart. Edmonton told McDavid, look, we get to have some money to give to Walmart. Right. Well, that's crazy. 2 by 12 and a half. Jeez. That's wild, man. But that's good. Boy, how stupid does Minnesota feel right now? Right? I can't believe he took less than Draisaitl, though. Like, the 2 years, keeping it short and all of that. Okay, I understand that. But wow. Significantly less than Draisaitl. That is unexpected, to say the least. Yeah, the Forsling contract is looking better by the second, right? Sure. Yeah. I guess you could say, the Panthers were paying Jones $7.5 to be on the second pair, but if Ekblad goes out on the top pair, you put Jones in, and you haven't lost anything. It's the same guy. Oh, Joe Quenneville's back in the NHL with the Sharks. What did they give him, David? Did that just happen, or did I just not hear about it? Yeah, the wall is full of holes right now in Minnesota, right? Dude, the dude had the cojones to turn down 16 and then get 17, and then McDavid says, screw it, give me 12.5. Hey, Trey. Yeah, he says, I don't even feel bad for McDavid anymore. He chose this. Right. Jones making 7, not 7.5. Yeah, it was 9.5. His contract was 9.5. And we cut it down. I always get the half mixed up. Yeah. Cam says McDavid is taking the lead on recreating the Panthers. It's true. Okay, Quenneville's on the Ducks. Okay. You heard about it over the weekend? I didn't see any news about that. I'll have to check. This is the Ducks making playoffs this year. Did he get the head coach job, or is he just, because I didn't see anything. Did they just make him like an assistant or a what do they call that? An advisor? I haven't seen one Q sign right after the playoffs ended. That might be why I don't remember seeing it. Oh, geez. I would have thought it would have been a big deal made of it. You know what I mean? Either that, I'm just so busy that time of year. I don't see anything else. That's wild. Bucks Rays, yeah. I hope there's no suspensions. Zero says that'll probably be the end of the Panthers Cup window with McDavid signing 2 years to get Edmonton a cup. I mean, they gotta finish the job. This year they were closer the first year. Trey says, I still think it's wild that Bowman got a job before Q. They both have the morality strike against them, but Q is actually good at his job and Bowman isn't. That's a good point. Yep. All right, everybody, I got to roll. It's Monday pack and ship. The Panthers season preview is out. And that's crazy. McDavid, 12 and a half. How beautiful is that? So, yeah. Tomorrow's stream will be, I'll probably go a little bit early tomorrow. And then the member stream tomorrow, I'll create, you'll see the links. We 1/2 hour before. The game is at 5 tomorrow. So I'll probably start the member stream tomorrow at like 4:15, 4:30, and we'll just hang out for a little bit, and then Kyle will pick it up next tomorrow. It's a very out of ordinary time frame for us, but the game starting at 5. It's kind of funky. Yeah, exactly, Vincent. Says another way to look at it is this extends the Panthers window now. McDavid comes after 3 years for the chip because he'll be in Desperado. Yeah, in 3 years we'll get reinforcements, right, Vincent? We'll get McDavid, and that's when Brady will be sick of losing with Ottawa, and we'll get the other Tkachuk and McDavid at the same time. That maybe like, Bennett and some of these guys are getting a little bit older, and so we'll put Bennett, Tkachuk, and Marchand as the 4th line, and then we'll just reconfigure the top 6 with fresh blood and just keep winning. It could happen. Yeah, they have 2 men. They have 2 D-men making more than our top pair, right? And neither of them play defense. Exactly. All right, everybody. Appreciate all the support, and I shall see you mañana when we finally get to play real games.